I'm starting to think about, because the conversations you guys were having about with Odell Beckham and stuff like that. I trust what with the reports with Josiah Anderson, right? What she's saying.
What part of it?
Maybe the part about him not playing
this year.
I don't know. I kind of think about, because you guys got me thinking about this whole thing, with
the bet and everything.
With the bet and all that. I'm like, man, which way would I fall on this thing? Would I fall on the thing that, is he ready to play? Is there some questions about his knee? That's, I don't know, maybe even some long-term stuff there.
It is two ACLs.
Yeah, you just got me thinking about it, and I the more people I talk to around the league, the more I kind of like, it's like, man, you need to get this. They need to look at that knee very strong.
There was a turning point for me last week when she said that, Brian, because we know this team already made a move for people that are more reliable.
Yeah.
And then you add the financial thing of them having to pay somebody that's unreliable. That was like the idea that pushed a lot of their offseason agenda. And I just can't see them, going back on that with any sort of financial risk.
Because I wonder, we're running out of games here. We're already into December, and we're already into, the second week in December. By the way, a week from today, I'll be 59 years old.
What? We got to throw you a party.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But the thing about it, just older than old. But the thing about it is, the more I think about it, I'm like, gosh, what if he can't play enough games? Would it be worth it to go get a guy? Would it be worth it to push chips in if, in fact, the guy is not healthy enough to be ready to go? Now, all of a sudden you sign him, and then like he's 3 weeks into this thing, and you're like, you're not playing with him yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing I would.
Yeah, the scenario I think that could work is he just wants to play football and get a chance.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll do a prove it for a chance to win a Super Bowl too. Yeah, everybody's benefiting. I can get some good film going, or, but I'm not sure if I can play. So it'll be incentive-based, league minimum salary, and if you do play, $500,000 a game or something like that.
Yeah.
I think they could structure it that way, but would Odell want to do that? And if it's such a long shot, maybe it makes more sense just to keep rehabbing on your own, and we'll see everybody in March.
I think it's a no-go for me in that case. Like, I'd back off this 100%. If he can't help you this year, and I'm out. It's like,
it just got me thinking when you guys were going back and forth. I was just like, what if the knee's not right?
No, if the knee's not right and medically this doesn't check off, and sure, if he wants to do a league minimum deal, then yeah, why not? Then it's not hurting you financially. I just don't see Odell Beckham Jr. signing for that.
And one other quick thing, Brian. We haven't heard anything from the Giants or the Bills that, hey, this knee looks good.
Yeah.
So if it's bad, they're going to protect the player and just not say anything.
Yeah.
And you've said, Brian, that the Bills probably wouldn't care.
I don't think
they need a receiver long term, so they'd play for the long haul. For the Cowboys, you can draft a receiver next year, right? Yeah. And then you can play for your future. You're not locked into a guy that's 30 plus coming off bad knees.
Yeah, you guys got me thinking, and I need to find this. I need to find all this thing out about, because like the more people I talk to, they're like, listen, he's not going to work out for you. He's not going to do this. He's not going to do that. I mean, can you get enough out of just, pulling and pushing on that knee to make sure that, and if you do sign him, like I said, where is he health-wise? I think if you do a workout, you could see it's a 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, but you get to 4 weeks before he maybe plays.
I mean, if you're talking his first game could maybe be the wild card weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, how much is he contributing for you?
Yeah. Okay.
Again, I'd be willing to do it if I'm the Cowboys and he's like, yeah, I'll do it for minimum. I just want a chance to win another Super Bowl.
Right.
I want to keep him on the roster until the divisional round or the conference championship game round, just in case, and see if he can get there. That's still 6 or 7 weeks away, but that would be a really tough ask, I think, for a player of Odell's status.
Sure.
Abilities.
Stay tuned to the station. We'll figure this thing out one way or another. Trust me on that. Okay, talking about this football game yesterday, and it was a little bit in the balance up until halftime. I mentioned about the second half drive to start the second half. It wasn't very good, and then you kind of start to figure some things out. I really like what these receivers, speaking of receivers, I like what the receivers were able to do yesterday. I really like what we're starting to see Oklahoma like CD Lamb.
Yes.
We're starting to see ball going across the middle of the field. We're starting to see him run after catch. We're starting to see him make those types of plays. We're starting to see him put him in motion more. Yeah. That's the thing. His touchdown reception that he had when the one where he showed the incredible balance with the spin to be able to maintain that balance and then get into the end zone was a route where they brought him in motion coming right to left, and then that put him, as he's dragging that thing, that put him in perfect position to go make that play.
That was the play of the game. But, Brian, the one where he came across the formation in the second half, where he caught it and then did like this change of pace.
Yeah.
And he just made the defender put his foot right in a bucket of quicksand.
Yeah.
That guy was just gone.
Yeah.
Incredible, savvy, I think.
Absolutely.
And elite athleticism that I don't think we'd seen for the first 2.5 years.
No,
man.
Yeah. No, he did. He looked like Oklahoma CD
Yes, he
playing
did.
football yesterday. Michael Gallup, I want to say this about Michael Gallup. On his first touchdown that he had in this game, that thing was really all on him because they're going to run bunch formation to the right and they're going to scatter, and all of a sudden he's on the backside and he's just going to run basically just a stop route and just kind of hang there. And all of a sudden he sees Dak Prescott in trouble and Dak sprints to his right. And what does Michael Gallup do? He takes off running across the field. Dak did a great job of throwing the ball back inside to him with everything cluttered over there to the right. Gallup just took off running, makes the catch, and then is able to get in the end zone. Great job by him. Great job by all three of these guys, by the way, blocking those toss plays that they were able to do. It was either Noah Brown, it was Gallup had a couple of good blocks. Lamb had a block down the field, able to get into guys. So good job by the receivers all around, not only in the passing game, but also helping downfield in the running game. The offensive lineman I felt like that had the best game from all these guys. Would you guys like to take a guess who I thought had the best?
Zach Martin, Brian.
Zach Martin's always a good guess. Would you like to guess?
That's not correct.
Not correct.
Oh, man. I'm going to go with my guy, Tyler Broaddus.
Tyler Broaddus had the best game of all these guys playing. I really, this was one of the games where you look at the Colts inside and what they bring to this game with the power that they're able to play with Buckner and those types of guys. There were several times in the running game where he was latched on one-on-one with a defensive lineman, a defensive tackle, and he was able to wall off, get push, the ball cut behind him several times in this game where he was able to do that. He had some really good combo blocks with Martin. He also did a good job with McGovern. So Tyler Broaddus, I felt like of all the games that he's played this year, I thought that was his best one for sure.
Love to hear that. That's extremely impressive because DeForest Buckner is a force.
Yeah, he is a really good force in that game. All right, I'm looking at now on the defensive side of the ball. What I was
can you give a thought on Dak's game, because you know that second pick maybe should have been a pick.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a horrible throw.
Yeah, they had some. I will say this though: the ball that was the interception that he threw that was taken that wasn't pass interference. I mean, they talk about everything, maybe illegal contact or something like that. Dak just took a chance that Michael Gallup was going to get out there and make that play. I think he tried to kind of throw him open on that one. Gallup stumbles a little bit. I know that I talked about attacking that. Attacking Stephon Gilmore in this game, and he did a great job of cutting Gallup off in that game, and then not allowing him to get to the inside or to the outside to make that play. So wasn't one of Dak's best throws, but then again, it was, I think, really, really good coverage on the outside, to be honest with you. So yeah, that's but Dak, I mean, the recipe we've always kind of talked about with him, it's less than, you can throw 30 or less, that kind of thing. You can hit it right at 30, and they were able to get the victory that way. The backs, like I say, Pollard, Elliott, I felt like they ran the ball. Even Davis, these guys had purpose when they ran the ball. The physicality, which way play, I think a lot of it had to do again with the line and what Broaddus and those guys were able to do. Steele, I felt like they played pretty well in that regard. The best defensive lineman for you in this game, would you guys like to take a guess who I felt like that guy was? Best defensive lineman.
Best defensive lineman. Was it
Osa?
It's Jonathan Hankins. Hankins continues to play really well. Not only does Jonathan Hankins take up 2 blockers every time, but he does a great job of getting rid of the blockers and then also getting in on the play. Unfortunately, the long run that they had.
Big Hank.
Yeah, the long run that they were able to have with Taylor, though, they just didn't get enough people to the ball. They had people to the ball, just didn't wrap them up. Ended up being a 19-yard gain, or that you'd have played this run defense pretty well. But really nice job by Hankins, I think, holding the point of attack. You mentioned Osa. He's doing a much better job of getting off blocks. Sam Williams did a really nice job as well in that football game.
3 in a row now.
Yeah.
3 in a row, good run defense.
Yep. And what they figured out also, too, in the game yesterday was they couldn't get pass rush with 4. They couldn't get pass rush with defensive linemen. Dan Quinn, I felt like, give him a tip of the cap for what he did. He started to bring the blitz. He brought Anthony Barr. He brought Wilson. He said, listen, I'm going to have to bring extra guys. What happened to it actually broke down the Colts pass protection. There was a problem with Kelly, the center, and problem with Nelson, the guard, the all-pro guard. There were a couple of times where they just let guys go. One time they caught Jonathan Taylor and having to block, and he got a mess up there. So bringing that extra pressure with the blitz and not just 4-man rush was able to kind of take care of those things like there. When you look at the safety play, Malik Hooker, the way he played in that football game, the turnovers and stuff were always great, but he was around the ball. He was very active in that game. He was really good on some of the coverage and recognition of where he needed to be in coverage right there. So nice job by Malik Hooker playing really as a true free safety. You got a really nice game too. I'll say this about Clark. We keep talking about Clark and how he's playing. I think there's been some times where he's been a little bit lost. Yesterday, he got a little bit lost in coverage. I think his awareness, I think the run defensive part stuff's been really, really good. The thing that he's struggling with a little bit is where he needs to fit on some of these coverages, has to have a better feel. Ball comes behind him, and he didn't really feel where he needed to drop. He dropped too far outside. Ball comes behind him. They get a big gain on the play, on that particular play. So, there's a little bit of some learning curve that's going to go on from him, but a really nice job. I kind of liked the bounce back. I'm sorry that Anthony Brown got hurt, but that interception, he really drove on the ball to knock that ball up in the air that Hooker played it very, very well. So maybe he was getting a little bit more confidence. Unfortunately, he got hurt. He got pulled by the receiver, and that yanked him. He was running forward, and his momentum, receiver yanked him to try and block him, and his left foot came down, and that's what blew out his Achilles on that particular play. So we'll see what you got in Kelvin Joseph and those guys. Diggs and others, Bland, I thought did a really nice job playing and coverage. And well, you've got 2 guys that are aggressive when it comes to playing the run. I think Joseph will be well playing the run, and I think Bland is also. So those will help you a little bit going forward here.